Welcome to TalkNorth.com. Thanks for listening. 2 quick promos. BiteSquad.com all this week. 10% off if you use the promo code HOCKEY. Bite Squad app, BiteSquad.com, promo code HOCKEY. Also, SodaStick.com. Use the promo code YouBetcha to get free shipping on any size order. Great local sports-themed apparel. BiteSquad.com, SodaStick.com. Thanks very much. What are the Twins going to do without Miguel Sano to start the season? We will ask Roy Smalley, because this is Roy Smalley's Chin Music, our baseball show on TalkNorth.com. Thanks to Barry Coffee, BarryCoffee.com, Tony Hoagland, your State Farm agent, Champlin, and our producer, Brandon Morton. Special deal this week for the state high school hockey tournament. Bite Squad is giving Talk North listeners a deal. Use the promo code HOCKEY to get 10% off your orders through Sunday. Check that out. So Miguel Sano shows up at camp with a cut heel. They put him in a boot. They take him out of the boot, and they see infection. Then they have to do a debridement, which basically means clean the whole sucker out. And now it looks like he's going to miss at least the first month of the season. What does this mean for the Twins in your mind?
It's tremendously disappointing, right? Obviously, we're waiting for Miguel Sano to become the dominant force in the middle of the Twins lineup that he's been projected to be for, how many years? I mean, going on a lot. And it's disappointing for him. Personally, I'm sure I feel very, very badly for Miguel. Feel badly for the Twins and Twins fans. He just can't seem to catch a break, whether it's self-inflicted wound or an accidental wound, wounds like he's had, and it's just really, really too bad. It's hard. It's just hard to have a good season when you miss the first month and then you have to work your way back in. It's going to be difficult for him. So, and he'll have the additional challenges of trying to stay in shape body-wise. He'd done such a nice job over the winter, and that'll be a challenge as well. So nothing is easy for Miguel Sano, it appears, nor for the Twins and Twins fans getting him to be the guy that they hope him to be. The good news is that the front office now has made what was a really nice acquisition, a brilliant acquisition, getting Marwin Gonzalez. I imagine that he'll be the third baseman in Sano's absence, and it's kind of like getting Eduardo Escobar back. Hopefully, Gonzalez will perform as he has over the past few seasons, and very, very much like Escobar did when he filled in so wonderfully for Sano in the past. So great move by the Twins. Really disappointing for Miguel and all of us.
It's so funny, one of the things we do on this network is we just try to have really honest, open-ended conversations. We don't do a lot of prep because we want everything to just be fresh and react to it. Everything you just said was stuff I was either going to say or was going to ask you about specifically, including the Escobar angle. I will say this. There were some really stupid people who cast me as like this anti-Sano or anti-heavy person when I first wrote that, hey, the Twins are worried about his weight and it might end up affecting his career. This is 2 years ago. And by the way, it did affect his career. But I've never been anti-Sano. I've been anti-Sano's work ethic in certain cases. I've written a million things about him. They've been 95% positive because I think the guy has a chance to be a great player. And what I've seen from Twins fans, at least the Twins fans who spend a lot of time on social media, is kind of throwing their hands up saying, oh, this is just what Sano is. This is just the way his career is going to go. I think this is completely different than his other problems. Not taking care of yourself, overeating, letting yourself get out of shape to the point you can't recover from injuries. Those are all absolutely on Miguel. This is not. He got himself in shape. He had an accident, and somebody may have dropped the ball as far as treating the wound. That's not on Sano.
Well, that's absolutely right. This is absolutely not on him, and it's just really sad to me that that this would happen after he'd done such a good job of getting himself prepared to start ascending as a player in the big leagues. And it really is. It's disheartening, for me on his behalf, and I hope that he can keep his spirits up. He can continue to work hard as best he can in a boot, on his conditioning and do as much as he can. But I mean, the good news is he played all winter long. So that's in the Dominican and through the Caribbean World Series. So that's going to help. But still, when you miss spring training and then miss a month of the season, you got to go have spring training again. And where and when and how that is going to happen is still very, very much in doubt, or at least unsure at the very least. So it's really too bad.
I have one more note I want to offer about Sano, and then we're going to get into some other spring stories, and we're going to have a little fun with some other topics and take some Twitter questions as well. I do want to thank Berry Coffee, berrycoffee.com. Steve Brem owns and runs Berry Coffee. It's a Minnesota company that has grown dramatically and now is pretty much everywhere you look. You see their trucks, they're in restaurants and bars everywhere, and they, we tell you about different aspects of the business all the time. I want to highlight the equipment they can sell you, that they can install. They have coffee brewing equipment, espresso and cappuccino makers. They have food service items. They have single-serve coffee makers and drink makers. They have water and filtration systems, and Roy knows all about this stuff.
Well, it's just really impressive to me that it doesn't seem to be a beverage or snack or food item that Berry Coffee can't deliver efficiently and cost effectively and well to any place of business, regardless of what kind. And we've talked about this before, but I just like the health aspect of what they're doing with the purified water, both regular water and sparkling, the organic style juices and things like that. I mean, that's where we're all going, or hopefully we're going, and they've been at the vanguard. So I just like their whole attitude about what they make available for their customers.
Absolutely. Reminder, our listeners, please download before you listen to the episodes. If you'd like to advertise with this program or anywhere on the network, you can reach us at talknorthpodcast@gmail.com, and you can follow us on Twitter, talknorthpod. The other thing I'll say is it certainly feels very negative right now. So the timing of it, the fact he's going to miss the first month of the season, the fact the Twins look like they have a chance to be competitive. Now they're going to be without a very important player. I will say, we also have to remember that Mauer had back problems. He missed the first month of the 2009 season, and then he went crazy. And, I don't know if it was because Mauer, his legs were rested because he had been, hadn't been catching, and that livened up his bat. I don't know if it was a contract drive. I don't know if it was the sense of urgency because he comes back and he only has 5 months. But there is some precedent for somebody coming back and tearing it up.
Oh, it can be done. There's no question. I mean, we're talking about two completely different kind of swings there, and the beautiful on-plane swing that Joe Mauer had in just as a matter of course in 2009, a little different than the little bit more looping home run type swing for Sano. So timing. And feel at the plate are going to be a bigger issue for a swing like Sano's than, after, not swinging a bat for 2 or 3 months than it would be for Joe. But yes, I mean, if Miguel is continues to be committed to his, staying in shape and has the kind of mental outlook when he comes back to really get after it. He certainly has the talent. We've been saying this a long time, and we're waiting for it. And but he certainly has the talent to become a real devastating part of the Twins lineup, and we'll hope for that.
I threw out the idea that, hey, maybe the Twins should take a shot at Bryce Harper. That was before we realized he really was going to break the bank, and the Twins really never were in it. But the serious options we offered, we said, hey, go get Nelson Cruz, and they did. And we said, hey, you go get Craig Kimbrel, you improve your team dramatically. And now Craig Kimbrel is still unsigned. It's very clear he wants a long-term deal and doesn't want to sign for a year or two. And now we're into March, almost mid-March. And one thing I remember from talking to Falvey this winter, he said what they didn't want to do was bring somebody in on a one-year deal because they were getting a deal on the guy and have him come in, maybe not be in shape, maybe be disgruntled because he didn't get the deal he wanted, and have it kind of ruin the atmosphere around the team or not get much out of that player. It kind of feels like Kimbrel is falling into that category right now.
It does, and they were burned last year with Lance Lynn and Logan Morrison. Guys that didn't have spring trainings and came in, especially Lance Lynn didn't have spring training, and then by the way, pretty disgruntled. I suspect that there was a pretty big part of that whole deal was, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm just kind of sensing that, and you may know more about this than I, but I don't think, I think Lance Lynn didn't have the best personality,
no, he didn't.
As a result. And that's not good, and it's not good, when you're not pitching well or playing well either. So I think they've been burned. It wouldn't necessarily happen with Kimbrel, any of those things. He might get in shape and be lights out, and he might, have a great attitude one way or the other. And but I really don't think it's going to happen now. I think they're gonna push ahead, and and this is the problem. Also, the more success that pitchers have in spring training, the ones they currently have, the less likely it will be that they turn to somebody else and take that gamble on a lot of money and a guy that hasn't had spring training. And the trap there is that you've got the pitchers that you're counting on. You see what you want to see, and they're getting AAA hitters out, and spring training. I mean, it's not when the bell rings, it's different. It just is. And when the season starts, and you just don't know how guys are going to perform. But to this point, the way that Trevor May's pitched, the way that Romero has pitched, they're getting some real positive signs from guys that they think can be late inning guys, and so all of that considered, I think it's unlikely now that they do anything with Kimbrel.
Agreed. Let's do a couple Twitter questions. I'm going to ask Roy what he's been listening to lately, because we haven't talked music in quite a while. Let me actually first thank Tony Hoagland, your State Farm agent in Champlin. HOAGLUND, also offering financial services. You can do one-stop shopping with Tony. He handles my insurance and does it well.
Hey, Minnesota sports fans. This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Hoagland. I need you all to ask yourselves this question. If you're in an at-fault car accident and you are sued for $700,000, how much of that $700,000 will my current insurance company pay? If you are unsure or can't answer all $700,000, you need to give us a call. State Farm has been number one in car insurance since World War II and number one in homeowners insurance since 1964. For a no-obligation review of your current policies, call us at 763-421-4900 or check out our website at www.champlininsurance.com.
Twitter question from Dennis Sundley, longtime listener. Do players at spring training, quote unquote, think about the challenging weather they will face when they head back north? If yes, at what point? And do you have any memories of those kinds of situations?
Players don't think about it that much. You're down there in beautiful weather, just enjoying that, getting themselves ready, and you don't think about what's in store for you the first month of the season too much. Because A, it doesn't do any good. B, you want to keep it out of your mind as long as possible. And C, you've been doing it a long time, and you just know you're going to be cold for a month. That's just the way it is. And so you're gonna, and sometimes longer than a month. And everybody's pretty much so resigned to that I don't think anybody thinks about it too much. We were lucky when I played for the Twins in the late 70s and early 80s when we played outside. We we didn't open at home most times until the middle of April. We was many times we'd open on the West Coast, and we'd play a nice